we should be getting out before somebody
Suffocate.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, are we missing somebody?
Can you read?
So, also is the community name which the castle is found. So people call it by the community, even it is Christian Hall, given it by the Danish people, the Danes, the Danish, Denmark. They actually built this castle after buying this land from the Gan chief by name Chief Okaekwe. Paid an amount of 3,200 gold for it. And they started developing this place into the sea from 1661. Together with the Portuguese somewhere in the early 80s, they conducted slave trade activities in the castle. So the Danish started, the Portuguese featured, and then they continued, the Danes continued again. Between the 16th and 18th century was dominated, the early part of 18th century was dominated by slave trade activities in the castle here. The late or the mid 80s to, that's in the 18th century to early 19th century was also dominated by slave, colonialism, colonial activities in the castle here. And then after the later part of 19th century to date, castle was used as the presidential residence. So basically, the castle has been used for three major features: as a slave trade yard, as a colonial building, and as a presidential apartment. So that is by way of skeleton. We will be walking inside and then I try to fix the flesh in this skeleton, and then we have the image that we will be looking for.
So basically, the castle you see in its full shape wasn't put up in a day. As and when each part was built, they target those who built the castle with that, or that part with that target. So example is what you are seeing. C1797 NCMXII. Who can put it in numbers for me? GR1950, then GR1921. The C7 inside stands for Christian the fourth of them. That piece was built by the Danes as a way of, using it as their trading square, and then the residential apartment where they traded or they actually carried out slave trade activities. They did this business using barter trade. No barter trade, exchanging goods between parties for their mutual benefit. So they came in with gunpowder, mirror schnapps, and then salt in exchange for our good ivory, diamonds, and then strong men and women. So this basically was the slave yard where these items were taken and being kept. Human beings were assembled here, then the conduct held schooling on them at the same time give them granted. Because plenty people were here doing the same business activities by themselves. So they needed to identify the people that they had gotten so that they don't get carried or confused when they get out there.
Yeah.
So basically, this is one of 4 dungeons we have within the castle. And this is where people were made to stay for 4-5 month period.
4 to 5 months.
This was the same it will take the ship to sail from the US to that of Africa. So this place we are is where the slaves were kept, so that the inner part will serve as their soakaway, so that if they needed to ease themselves, this is where they walk inside to ease themselves. But at maximum or at peak, 120 people were kept here.
In this small space?
Yes. So because the space here couldn't contain them, they moved into their organs, exposing them to such dangers. They contracted several diseases and died off. 80% of this 120, by the time the ship would be ready, were dead. You die as a slave, and then they get your body into the sea. Only we hope that the fishes carry you better than they could have done. That is what the Danes actually, the Portuguese actually did in the castle here. So the top we see serve as a spyway, so that for fear of attack, they wanted to monitor their activities. But because they feared that the slaves will attack them, they created a wall top there, and then they stand up to see the slaves downstairs. So if you were there, you die. Or if you were a slave here, you die. The window will afford them the opportunity to see your dead body. And they will use other slaves to carry it out. Of course, this is where they source their oxygen from. Well gated with heavy iron rod, because the entrance to which we came in was locked and tightly closed, so that ant doesn't even pass there. So this was the only source of oxygen for them as a being. You can only imagine the thickness of the wall and think, if you want to think about breaking the dungeon. Yeah, how thick it is. So it was physically impossible for the slaves to get out or make their way out from the castle or the dungeon here. So this is one of 4 dungeons we have in Christianborg. The 5th one happens to be an underground dungeon, which is coupled with a gate of no return. We shall be there very soon for your perusal. Storage system.
Water story?
Yeah, we call it a water tank, a reservoir.
Kind of like a well?
Yeah, or a well for water storage. Basically, any of them. So that it was put together by Carl Engman, one of the Danish colonial. Also using it. So because of that, it has gained that status quo or that name, presidential staircase. This staircase happens to be a feature on one of Ghana's CD notes. It's the 50 CDs note here. At the back of it, you will see this staircase by way of picture. 50 CDs note. Who are some? It's basically put here so that the holder of this note, having known Christianborg Castle, or out of curiosity, you ask, where is this staircase or this house located? Then the person that knows this place will tell you that it is in Christianborg Castle, so that you will get to know that, having conceived a mind or having known that this place was used for slave trade activities, colonialism, our presidents were here. They wanted to reclaim the name of the castle from this teaming activities that went on in the castle. That is why it is kept here. Basically, to kind of put spotlight on the castle building that our presidents or our own leaders were using it.
All right.
That is why it is put on the 50th vicinity. The middle lane you see used only by the president, so that the other side is used by we, the ordinary citizens, or the people that work for the president. It's still not today because he's the only one that uses it. We're going to use the staircase to the top floor, and let's maybe one of you introduce me like president. I will open this one to use grass with
That's no need, let's go. We'll follow you.
So let's go. Down there is a swimming pool. One of the British colonial governors, in the name of Godwin Blackstone, he constructed this one. He used to swim inside when he was the governor, or the slave trade, not the slave trade, the colonial governor in the country. That you see is the Atlantic view, Atlantic Ocean. Then that is the Oshu community for you. Then again in 1960, Queen Elizabeth was in Ghana. Kind of say a word of congratulations to our leaders and then for the people of Ghana for having led a very peaceful but successful handing over of power between the two governments. This apartment was used to house the Queen, whilst our presidents were also opposite here. So the staircase you see leads to the president's bedroom, and then the entrance to you see is the Queen's bedroom. The Queen's bed is still inside her room, but for COVID-19, it is not open for operation. Yeah. So we're going to walk through the chapel which the Portuguese used to trick the people into the castle, for that matter, the dungeon, and then we'll take it up.
You're not going to trick us, are you?
No.
That's the ancestor worship.
Okay.
That's the box we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like voodoo, right?
No, we can't. It's locked.
Oh, it's locked. Okay.
So that is the church in the name of Francis Xavier Catholic Church, put together by the Portuguese. Then which church they used to trick the people, the black people into the castle, and subsequently to push them down the mountains whilst having their stay out of here. The question many people would ask is that what was your prayer request or your prayer intentions? Was subjecting other people downstairs, dying, struggling, suffocating, very hungry, thirsty, you sit here to open Bibles to read. The only thing original, because this castle interior has been changed. Atamius, when he was president here, comes here early morning or every morning for his service before office.
He was Christian,
This same
right?
place.
Yes,
He was Christian, right?
yes. So he comes here to say, have his morning devotion before he goes to office. So he has changed the interior view of the church. And then the only thing original left by the Portuguese is the box you see, which pulpit is characterized by a crocodile head and a new bird.
This box here.
Yes. Guess what they use it for? That is where they store their Bible, wine, and bread. So you can only imagine the irony, keeping the Bible on the crocodile head, putting your wine in the new part to say the word of prayer. It's left with you to perform with as we go to the next phase of the castle. So we are descending down. Ghana witnessed a military regime after independence. 1960, after we were made a Republican state, we got a president in the name of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame. He, having been a president, ruled for only 6 years. 1966, he was overthrown by one gentleman, the name of Ignatius Ekutu Echampong. He overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, or overthrew him, and then became the president by force or by military regime or a coup d'etat. So between 66 and 79, Ghana was characterized by this coup d'etat regime of governance. Rawlings happens to feature in this coup d'etat regime. He actually staged about 4 coups. His quest to becoming a president started during that time. He staged first, it didn't go. Second, it didn't go. The third one went through. In 1978, he handed power to Dr. Hilaire Limann. You've heard of him. Limann was president by not elections, by not coup. By then, Rawlings staged a coup and then handed power willingly to him. Sat back and observed Limann's attitude. Rawlings came back and executed him on a coup and took back his power in 79. So from 79, he
killed him,
he killed him, yes.
I thought it was just overthrow.
No. It's the same thing, overthrow or kill.
No, overthrow, you can overthrow someone and not kill.
Very good. Any of them. I should not say any of them. He overthrew him and killed him as well. So
Really?
the two put together.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought it's just
He
normal
took
overthrow.
power from him and killed him again.
Oh,
So the
okay.
two put together. We are all correct. So he took power in 79 and then ruled from 79 to 92. So 92 that he saw, saw the need to return Ghana into a civilian or a democratic regime. So he went around the country, organized a referendum to organize the views of the people. And this was put into a single document now we call the Constitution. So the Constitution now gives us the guidelines as to how a leader will be formed or made in Ghana. So when he was the military leader, Rawlings, I'm talking about, this was his base. We are going to his base. Unfortunately, his office is locked. So let's see. So this is where you have the number flag being requested. Then Rollins will sit in this office whilst monitoring every single activities that was ongoing in the castle. So you stand here by way of being in the office. Rollins sat in the office and is able to see the main entrance to the castle. So you stand here and then you see from Asunge Park leading to the castle. He did that so he want to know who was entering the castle at what time, and then before he was told. Of course, it was a flight by himself, so if there was any emergencies, he flies with it. So this is Rollins' territory during the military regime. But when he became a civilian president, he moved to the other side. From 92, when he became president, he was elected by this same constitution. He moved to the other side.
That's the
So,
presidential.
Yes, the presidential lodge. He was here as a military regime or leader. Then use the other side as the civilian. These ones are mostly is to say that if you are a black man and you descend through the staircase, you don't come back or you don't ascend back. That is why it has gained that name, the presidential stair, the gate of authority.
Ariel? Ariel?
Gate of no return.
Ariel?
I don't know what I got myself into.
Ariel? I'm here. Look up.
Up, look up. See her? You don't see her?
Eric?
Yeah.
Eric?
Given the seat so that they take off from the floor.
Wash your head. Yes. Wash your head.
So you come to them like animal.
Yes.
Because you can't even stand.
There's water there, so be careful.
Yeah, and wash your head too, yeah.
The polling tank was full here.
Wait, what is this again?
That's the dungeon.
Oh, wow. What?
So this is where people were kept.
It's not much.
And then what you see was the only source of oxygen for them. That is the window.
This small window.
This is where the slaves were?
Yes.
Oh.
That is what afforded them the oxygen.
But those people were Christians,
Yeah, I
right?
was waiting.
Yeah.
I think they're more like Catholic.
And I think we kind of feeling it already. But if it were lady first.
Okay. Careful though.
Really? So this is the first phase of it. The first chamber. Then the other part.
Oh,
This is the other part of the dungeon. This is actually where you come here and then you were restricted to standing.
To standing.
Do yes. Of course you can stand.
Yeah, you can stand.
Then you bend this way, you sit or you sleep. So we come out from here.
Wash your head. Oh.
Just less than a minute to walk. Look at the look at how you see people breathing and try to release. That is also the small window that will give, oxygen to the big pore you came from. Look at how big the inside was. This was the only survival. But it continues, and then the end part of this dungeon is a tunnel, happens to be an underground tunnel, where the slave masters will use it to and from the castle in conducting their activities in the castle here. Because they had their houses within the Osu people, portrayed to them they were Christians, living with them in harmony. By then, underground was biting. They were biting them. They used this same tunnel to come to the castle, enslave their own people, the people that they were living with, go back them, and then they sit together, pray, laugh, and eat together.
Laughing together. All this.
So we should be getting out before somebody
Suffocate.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, are we missing
Yeah.
somebody?
Can you read it?
You said?
We missing
What
somebody?
should we do?
Eric, we're gonna.
You should lead us. Yeah, you should lead us. I don't know where I'm going. Nah.
Is this the gate of the
That is the exit.
Oh, the exit. At the beach.
Yeah, so you can see the beach and then till then the smaller boat that will pick them was right here. It fetched them into the bigger ship that was quite deep in the waters. A ship can come closer because of the shallowness of the depth of the sea. So it was in deep waters, and then the smaller boat will fetch them
And then put them in the.
ship and throw them into the big ship, and then they were off.
Alright.
So we are returning.
Yeah. Oh my god. Barely made it out of that one. So that's nice breeze.